All right. Shit. Hi, everyone. It's me, Sailor Moon, Serena here. And it's me, Sailor Venus, Sailor Hellas World, Mina here. And today we're going to talk about folks out there who don't like, the GLEE Sailor Moon. And I know we talked about this many times, but it has to be talked about because it's still a thing. So the Deep Glee Sailor Moon is like what, 30 years old or something like that now? And yes, it started out like every offshoot of Sailor Moon being owned by Toei, and then being owned by Disney at the time when Disney owned Deke, and then being owned by Deke and then Cookie Jar and DMX and Wild Brian. And a lot of folks have said a lot of scathed it for a lot of things. And the things that they scathed it for, were like the wrestling, the fighting being skimmed. Some folks are like, oh, they cut out a lot more of the strikes than they did. They cut out some of the slapping. Yes, slapping was cut out. There are many times in a show where someone would slap me or I'd slap someone else or whatever, and that would be cut. And yes, there would be many times where a lot of things that were being done were being cut out or cleaned due to it not being right for children to see at that time. So, yeah, that's why a lot of the slapping was cut out. And it was mostly, Sailor Mars slapping me once. Sailor Mercury slapped me once, so being slapped between Red World and Quicksilver, yeah, that was cut out. Another thing they make a big thing about is the blood being gone. They're like, oh, the blood's gone. Yeah, Disney or Deke or both of them took the blood out of both the first and two followings of Sailor Moon. I don't know if that took away from the saga, but some folks thought it took away from it, so they made a big deal about the blood being gone, or the lack of blood, as if they think they were watching wrestling or something. And then another thing they made a big deal out of were names being shifted. Like my name is Serena, which is a Latinist borrowed name, which was borrowed through Latinist through Frenchist into English. It's not an English name, but it is a name that English folks know. And a lot of folks name their kids Serena. So, anyway, they chose that name. And folks got pissed off because, oh no, you called my name's Serena, some Latinist Frenchist borrowed name, instead of the Dawnish borrowed name Usagi, which really means bunny. So let's be earnest about that. That's not my name, and why folks make a big deal about names being shifted is beyond me. Yeah, you're right, Sailor Moon. You're right, Serena. I mean, folks make a big deal about my name, Mina, which is a Blacklandish borrowed name, which was mostly borrowed through Blacklandish, through Hebrewish, through Arabish. It's one of the very few names that were borrowed into English that English folk know, and a lot of folks are named that. The spelling may shift, and folks made a big deal about it and like, oh no, your name is Mina. It is a Blacklandish borrowed name. I want the Dawnish borrowed name Minako. Well, I don't know too many Minakos out there, but that's not my name. But making a big deal about that, I don't get it. And then street names. I mean, these folks made a big deal about street names being shifted. How about business names? Yeah, they didn't make a big deal about that. But Crossroads, yeah, Round Street, Borough, or township or town or stead or gore, whatever it was in the Deke world, they were pissed off that instead of being whatever it was in Dawnland, whatever the near name was, it is now Crossroads or Round Street. And they made a big piss off. They got pissed off over that. Then they also bitched about the strike names being shifted. It's like they, like, oh, why are you calling them these when they were called that well, why are you shifting names of the strike names? Geez, I don't know why, but why are you making a big bloody deal out of it? Then another thing that they make a big deal out of, that most awake folks would, understand about the unstraight. Yes, it is true that in Sailor Moon there were some unstraight folks. And at first following, you had Zoisite, which was a man in every other offshoot of Sailor Moon, and also in the books, yes. But in Deke's world, Zoisite was a woman due to Disney and Deke believing that folks could not handle two unstraight folks. You see, it's not like how it is today, where more folks are trusting and welcoming and understanding that kind of thing. It isn't how it is now, when more folks have that trust and understanding, where it's all right. But Deke and Disney didn't want to be in a bind with someone that couldn't handle that and then make such a big deal about it, where they might lose their UPN and WB deals. So, yeah. And I know that some folks out there will take it the wrong way, but don't take it the wrong way. I don't know why Disney and Deke did that. I don't know why they made Zoisite a woman. I just gave you my guess, And they still kind of make a big deal out of that, So there's a lot of things about the Deke Sailor Moon that a lot of folks in a Sailor Moon followership do not like. The only thing, another thing I'm leaving out, Sailor Moon, before I get back to you, it's about how Day of Destiny or Day of Calling or Day of Reckoning was, instead of being two slights, it became one slight. And then they got pissed off that instead of us dying at the end, we were taken into the Dark Kingdom. I'm like, come on. You're going to make a big deal about that shit. That is sad. You're right, Sailor Venus. You're right, Sailor V. You're right, Sailor Hellish Road Mina. There are so many folks who still make a big deal about a 30-year-old Sailor Moon English offshoot, which is 30 years old and hasn't been broadcasted in years. Hell, it hasn't been streamed in years either, And they still make a big deal out of it. And the only good thing they can say about it is, oh, I like the songs. You're telling me that the only thing you liked about the Deke GLEE Sailor Moon was the songs, not the sagas about friendship and forgiveness and love, not the sagas about fighting for the greater good. Oh no, it's the songs. Well, there are many things about the Deke GLEE Sailor Moon that you folks could have liked, but the only thing they can mostly like about it are the songs. Go fought. So anyway, that's just giving my thoughts on what folks don't like about the Deke GLEE Sailor Moon and why they don't like it, but I don't understand it. I mean, everyone has the right to like what they like and to unlike what they unlike, Everyone has the right to their own thoughts and beliefs. I like the Deke GLEE Sailor Moon. If you don't, that's all right. That's all right. So, okay, give this film a like, share and playlist it, and we'll see you later.